Alright, guys, we are reading the Oregon Trail today. Our directions say read the passage below and complete the scaffolding questions in complete sentences. The Oregon Trail. As Texans fought for their independence from Mexico in the Mexican-American War, other Americans looked to the Oregon region with great anticipation. Fur traders and missionaries were the first white settlers to reach the Pacific Northwest. Their growing reports of fertile valleys attracted thousands of people to the region after 1835. Settlers followed the Oregon Trail. It began at Independence, Missouri, and wound westward for about 2,000 miles across the Great Plains and the Rocky Mountains to the rich valleys of the Oregon region. Pioneer farmers, cattle ranchers, and sheep ranchers journeyed westward along the trail. The first large group of settlers, about 1,000, made the trip in 1843. Travel on the Oregon Trail required strength and endurance, but the trek was not so lonely or dangerous as described in the Western legend. The trail was crowded with wagon trails, army units, missionaries, hunting parties, traders, and even sightseeing tours. Some travelers complained that they sometimes had to stop early in the day to find a good campsite ahead of the crowd. Others spoke of the need to wear masks for protection against the dust kicked up by the heavy traffic. Stories about great numbers of pioneers killed by hostile Native Americans were also exaggerated. Of the 10,000 deaths that occurred on the trail from 1835 to 1855, only 4% resulted from Native American attacks. Such diseases as cholera and smallpox and firearm accidents were the chief causes of death on the trail. A flood of immigrants to Oregon helped America achieve its territorial ambitions. Since the late 1700s, Britain and the United States had an overlapping claims in the Oregon region. The two countries signed a treaty in 1818, agreeing that citizens of both nations could occupy the disputed area. By 1846, however, the growing number of American settlers in the Oregon region caused the British to abandon their hopes of keeping the area. Thus, in the Oregon Treaty of 1846, Britain gave up its claim to all of the Oregon Territory south of the 49th parallel. That line later became the boundary between the United States and Canada. On the next slide, there are some questions. The questions say, number 1, where did the Oregon Trail begin? Number 2, what minimal dangers did travelers on the Oregon Trail encounter? Number 3, according to the reading, what 4 different ways did travelers die? And number 4, what resulted from the Oregon Treaty of 1846?